Matt Scratch here with another tech tip for you. Today I have to bleed the brakes on the Neon, and I'm going to do it by myself. There's no one else here. And so what I do to do that is you can buy things to do this, but I just made my own out of a pop bottle and an old piece of washer fluid hose, like on your washer fluid system. You have this nice soft rubber hose, so I just took an old piece of it and you stretch that right over your brake bleeder, and you loosen off your brake bleeder, and you make sure that you've got the other end of the hose in the brake fluid. Cut the end of it on an angle so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pop bottle, and I just have the masking tape there to hold the hose at the right level in there and keep the dirt out. But yeah, it's important that you have the hose in brake fluid so it doesn't suck air. And the idea is it'll push out brake fluid, and then it doesn't suck air because it will just suck brake fluid back, but it does push out more than it pulls back. So it takes a little longer than if you're bleeding the brakes with a helper, but it does get the job done. As you're bleeding the brakes, it's very important that you keep the reservoir on the master cylinder full. Keep it topped up. If it starts to suck air, that'll fill the whole system with air, and then you'll have to bleed the whole system, so you don't want that to happen. Also, before you take that cap off, clean the cap really good, just as it says on the cap. It's very important because brake systems are very sensitive, and if you get dirt in there, it could really shorten the life of your system. Make sure you're using the correct fluid. I think it's also important to mention that you want to make sure you're cleaning the top of your brake fluid container too. If it's been sitting in the corner of your shop and got all dusty, make sure you give that a wipe. So another thing you'll notice, I have a turkey baster here. This is just my kind of brake fluid pail, and I use that turkey baster to suck the old brake fluid out of the master cylinder reservoir, and then I squirt it into this bucket, of course, and dispose of it from there. Make sure you're wearing a pair of gloves, and put some cardboard down. You don't want to get brake fluid anywhere because it can wreck your paint job and stuff if you get it on your vehicle's paint. So be very careful if you've got it on your hands or something. Keep a shop towel handy and keep wiping your hands as you go and stuff so you're not spreading it around. Okay, well, I'm just going to leave you guys set up here. I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see, but I'll be in the car pumping the brake pedal very slowly. Okay, so very important that you close the bleeder before you remove the hose, because right now the hose is part of the brake system. It's preventing air from entering the system, so it's very important that you have this bleeder completely tight before you remove the hose. These are 8mm on this Neon. They're often 3/8 on older American cars, but these ones are just a bit smaller. They're 8mm or 5/16. And then you just pull that hose off of there. Give that a wipe because you don't want any brake fluid dripping off later. And then you should have a little rubber cap like this to prevent dirt from entering into there, and you can go ahead and put that on there. Okay, well, we're back at the brake pedal here. We've got the system all sealed up now. We've got the bleeder tight and everything, and we're just going to test and see, make sure our pedal's nice and firm. So you can see it goes down very little. So that means we've got all the air out. This car doesn't have ABS. If you do have ABS, you will find it's much harder and more time consuming to bleed the system. And you may not ever get it bled to the point where your pedal's like that and you're happy with it. You may only get it to the point where it's like 75% of that, and you've still got a little pedal sink. And what I've done with that in the past is just driven the car, you know. As long as you've got a firm enough pedal and it's stopping good, you can drive it, and after about a week, the rest of that air will just pass through the pump on its own through normal driving. And as long as you have full brakes, I mean, if your pedal's going to the floor and you're not getting any brakes, well, that's dangerous. So don't do that. But you know, bleed it until you have enough brakes to safely stop the car. And then, as I say, the last bit might have to come out with normal driving, and you'll notice that pedal will get firmer and firmer each day. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you.